Hi, this is Dean saying what's up to grapplerINFO.pl. See you on the mat. With Alan Belcher, with his fight against Palares Toquinho, we know that Toquinho is very explosive, very good with footlocks. Is his specialty. That's not all he does, but that's what he's known for. So going for 2 weeks and staying with Alan Belcher, I was trying to focus on, of course, the footlock escapes, but also resistance, ways to just tough out some positions, and he was learning very fast. Escapes, counters, all this kind of stuff. And so we were starting in the worst positions you can imagine, and it paid off in the fight. He used like almost everything, all of my tricks. I was really surprised and very proud of him that he fought that way, and it was a very smart fight for him. In ADCC 2011, last year, September, it was of course a very good day for me. You know, I had nothing to lose. I was considered to be one of the older competitors, so you know, I just went there to fight very hard. And one thing about me is I definitely look for the submission. I don't look forward to win by 1 point or something. So because of that, everyone kind of fought my match, you know. To going for submissions on me and being aggressive, that's usually where I do the best. And I remember the match against Radek Turek. He was really attacking my feet, man. This guy was really attacking my feet. I was surprised because people don't usually do that with me. I'm not a specialist with feet, but people think this, and I was surprised that he was attacking my feet like a maniac. He was going after my foot, this foot. I was like, whoa. So I had to escape like 3 of his footlocks, and then I finally got one on him. I finished the match, and but he was cool. He's you know, of course, the submission I got was pretty deep. And actually, everyone that I got in the submission in ADCC, I mean, they were really nasty footlocks. And so the guy Radek Turek, he seemed like he was very technical, and seemed like a good sportsman. I wouldn't say I have such a fascination with footlocks, but for me, the arms and the legs are pretty much the same looking. I know the legs are a little bit bigger, but other than that, maybe they've been the opposite direction. To me, they're just as technical as the arms. Maybe there's even more things you can do with the legs. So I try to think outside the box. I don't want to follow everyone. I want to do my own. I want to be my own type of fighter. And one way of doing that is just thinking outside the box. And so for me, footlocks is just another way to win a fight. And also, a lot of the best Brazilians, they have such good guards. Their feet are right in front of me. They're right there. It's like asking. It's like a temptation. It's hard to release because a guy with a good guard, it's hard to pass. I will get the feet usually. And if I can pass the guard, I'll pass the guard and maybe get an arm lock or a submission, maybe a choke. But that's why maybe people make the mistake of thinking I'm a footlock specialist. It's because I fight the best Brazilian guys in the world, and they have such good guards, all of them do. And so I'm going to have the first chance that I'm going to grab is going to be a leg. In this case, in this ADCC, I had 3. So it was a good day. And I'm not a specialist, but that's the reason. With people looking to improve the game with leg locks, I would say check out some of my new material. I'm going to have my own website up pretty soon. It's going to be a very good website. It's going to have a lot of good techniques. There's also a lot of stuff on YouTube you can see, but there's some bad information, you know. And I'll tell you what, footlocks, I think that you have to train them, of course, or you'll lose by them. And people say, oh, you know, it's crude or they're dangerous. I understand. It's almost like I make a comparison if you're sparring kickboxing. I don't knee someone in the head when I'm sparring kickboxing. I save that for the fight, okay? And that's like something that knees are very effective, but you don't grab your partner and knee him in the face. Really, that's not good. That's how it is with footlocks, okay? So if I get someone's foot, fine. If I get the heel and twist it too hard, it's my friend, and I hurt him, then it's like the same. I grab someone's face and knee it, you know, in a fight, in a sparring. I think that's something you have to be careful of, but you have to train it, you have to respect it, you have to know that they're very effective. So that's why I think you have to be careful, but you have to just be open-minded to it and study it for sure. I think that's very important. But right now, for my future, I'm definitely going to compete in ADCC next year, 2013. I'm the current champion. Of course, I'm going to compete. I'm going to start back with the gi, of course, and I'm also looking back with some fights, some MMA fights. I just want to be open-minded to some things. Right now I'm doing seminars. I'm traveling across Europe. It's a pretty hectic schedule right now. So right now I'm just focusing on seminars, and I'm very busy with this. When I get back to San Diego, I'm going to get very strict again with my diet and get down to a good fighting weight. And this time I want to have 1 month of training without a fight in mind. I just want to really work on my own skill sets and not worried about my opponent. And then of course, after 1 month of training, then I'll look for a fight. Maybe I'll fight in 3 or 4 months from now. That's what I hope to do. Guy would like to compete in tournaments. I would like to do everything because I'm not getting any younger, you know, and I definitely want to just get there and fight, compete. And you know, when I'm too old to fight and compete, then that's fine. But I'm not right now. I'm not too old yet, so I want to fight. I want to compete. I want to do everything. So I'm open-minded to anything in the world. You know, traveling all across Europe, you know, so far I think the highest level grapplers I've seen is here in Poland. And so far I noticed that people, you know, I try to learn new languages, but of course I don't speak every language in Europe. So I noticed that the people here in Poland are more patient to maybe even try to speak English. Not everyone, but most people. I think some countries people were not very patient at all. So here I think people actually would take the time and try to speak English with me, which was surprising. So far I have a good time in Poland. The situations I showed today, yesterday, and as well as in Krakow, it's not dependent, you know, it depends on what questions I have and what issues people have in the day. So today we went over some situations like some triangle variations. I showed some submissions from north-south, when people move the arm. It's the kind of questions I had today is conditional on how I teach the seminar. Thomas works very hard, he trains very hard, he's a very good striker, he's very good on the ground, he's a well-rounded fighter. I think for sure one of the best in Poland, one of the best in the world. He's a very hard worker. And he took a punch from Drew McFedries in the UFC fight, which most people were very surprised he took that punch. I mean, his face was all swollen up and really, it was a hard punch. So it's a tough guy and he's a hard worker and it's a good friend. So I think he's a top level. Well, all my team, I'd like to thank my team, Victory MMA in San Diego, California. Great team. That was the team that Thomas Dural and Jan Blachowicz was training with me in San Diego. I'd like to thank you to all of them for all the hard work they put into me. And I'd like to thank my friend Hans from Triumph United. I have so many good friends, you know, but I guess that's all I can say. Thanks to my friends for all their help they've helped me with.